shiny. I'm shiny. The sun is sunning. Hello everybody, my name is A. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to do a bit of a recap. By the time this is released, it's probably mid-February, which is unfortunate, but not really something that I can do anything about. I had an incident with my computer at the end of January that made it so I had no computer until 2 days ago. It is the 12th of February right now. So unfortunately I couldn't do a recap video, but I'm here now to recap January and then kind of figure out what I want as goals for February, even though I'm almost halfway through. So I figured I was gonna pull out my bullet journal, kind of go through what I had written in for my goals for the month and see what I did and did not achieve. And then I'm also going to see how I did for writing, what I did for reading, and then any other little things that I wanted to mention. So I have opened to my January spread and I wrote some goals down for the month, and I can already see I didn't bother with several of them, but let's go through them. So I put read daily as my first goal, and I will say that I did very well with reading daily. If I can find the proper page. Oh, my year in pixels. The color scheme doesn't super matter currently, but if you look at my January, which is the one that's filled in, you can see I didn't miss any days. I actually have only missed one day in February, and I fell asleep watching TV. So I've been doing really good with my reading goal. I will be honest, a lot of it is manga, which there is nothing wrong with manga, but I have read every day except for one so far this year, so I'm very happy about that. I'm currently sitting at 32 books read, and this is my spread that I made for all of the books that I read in January. As you can see, it is a lot of manga. I basically finished Demon Slayer, I caught up on Jujutsu Kaisen, and I tried another manga that I didn't like, Chainsaw Man. I didn't love it enough to continue. And then I also started The Promised Neverland, which I am liking. I'm still reading it currently. Other than that, I also read Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke by Eric LaRocca, and I read Ararat by Christopher Golden, and Christmas and Other Horrors by Ellen Datlow. Two of those books I mentioned in my Winter Spooktacular vlog. So I read 2 manga series basically and a couple novels, and then I tried some other manga that have been really fun. I've been enjoying reading. I don't know if I actually said, but my total books read for January is 29, so I read a couple more in February to put me at 32, and I'm really liking it. I also tried my hand at like a review, like kind of writing down my thoughts on what I've been reading, and I've been enjoying actually doing that. I feel like it's a fun way to compile my thoughts, because something like Demon Slayer or Jujutsu Kaisen, I've read so many of them, but I have so many thoughts, so it was nice to just do a little, like, give it a page. I put my favorite, I won't actually show those close up just because some of them are spoilers, but I put like my favorite panels that I could think of in there, and I just kind of wrote what I thought. And then I did the same in a smaller sections for the other books that I read. And then the one that I didn't like also got its own little paragraph. And The Promised Neverland, I only gave a little paragraph because I had only read the first 2 volumes. So I was giving it a shot, and I do like it now. I'm on volume 6 right now, and I'm enjoying it. So yes, those were the books that I read in January. I've been keeping up with that goal. I would say that one was a success. My next goal that I wrote was to write daily. And I do want to put a caveat. Is it a caveat? An aside. My creation of these goals was not very smart, in that I wanted to create a no pressure system for myself, but also I put write daily, and like I did not, because I had 3 days off where I went to a cabin with my friends, and I did not write while I was at the cabin because I was hanging out with my friends and we were having fun. So technically I failed that goal already because I was honoring being nice to myself and not stressing about that kind of stuff. But then I've created this goal where I said daily, so now I failed. You know what I'm saying? So I will personally be working on how I go forward writing these goals, because I would say that I have been successful at creating like a healthy writing practice, but this specific wording of this goal has me failing. So anyways, let me go back to my year in pixels. So again, the legend doesn't really matter, but as you can see, I have written every day except for those 3. I marked them with a V for vacation. I've written every day in various amounts since the first day of January. So again, I would say, current Deidra would say that I had succeeded, but looking back at my goals, I have to say that I didn't succeed because I did not write those 3 days. But overall, I wrote in January 46,481 words, which I think is kind of really awesome. I've been enjoying tracking my writing per sprint. I feel like my numbers are really accurate, and I have a way better idea now of my pacing than I did before, because I used to just write willy-nilly. Like I'd sit down and sit there for 2 hours and write 500 words, or sit there for 2 hours and write 5,000 words, and was I focusing? Was I not focusing? So writing in sprints has not only helped me focus, but it's telling me that this focus time has allowed me to write at this speed relatively, because obviously some things flow faster or easier than others. But overall, it's been really helpful to gauge my expected progress going forward. And if I only have a half hour of time, I know I could probably get 500 words or 550 words in that half an hour, because I've been writing relatively consistently. And then my daily average as of today is 1,467 words, which is great because I wanted 1 word a day, at least. That was it. So 1,467 is a-okay to me. I've kind of, even though I haven't had a specific word goal, I've been shooting for 1,000 words a day and exceeding it for the most part. I have had a couple low days, particularly when I'm working. I come home and I'm usually pretty tired, but to combat that, English, I love it. I've actually started getting up a little bit earlier in the morning. When I was in Texas, I used to get up at 4:30, and I don't know why I seem incapable of doing that while I'm in Canada, but whatever. I've been getting up at 5 and I will walk my dogs, make my tea, and I will write until 6 o'clock. And then once 6 o'clock hits, then I'll start getting ready for work and go to work. And that's been helping a lot because I can usually get 2 sprints done and have like 800 words going into the day, and it's not even 6 a.m. And it helps for when I come home from work. I just need to do a sprint or 2 to get me to 1,000 or more, and I can usually do at least a single sprint after work. So I've kind of shifted my schedule a little bit for that, and it's been working out. I'm a morning person overall, so it's not that big of a deal to get up a half hour earlier, in my opinion. I put write 4 chapters in a I almost just said the title of my book, and I am not sharing it currently. Wow, that was a lot. Wow. Okay. Write 4 chapters in a AIST, or Project White. I'll just call it Project White because that's easier. I'm not sure after my computer broke, but I had written at least 11 chapters by the 28th. So I blew that one out of the water. That's great. I put stream 2 times a week as a goal, and I believe every week except for the week that my computer broke. I missed the second stream because I didn't have a computer. Technically I failed, but the computer was broken. I'm passing myself. Okay, I passed. Thank you. Next, this is the section where I just didn't bother. So I put as a goal, rewrite He Has These Antlers, which is a short story that I would really like to submit around and get published. And I'll be honest, I read it back. I did. I may have even done a tiny bit of editing. I think I put this in the tracker. I did a single 25-minute sprint. So I did not rewrite this story. Yeah, so I failed that one. I'll work on it eventually. Next one. They're kind of tandem and I didn't do either. 10 new Korean words and 4 Korean journal entries. I did none. I'm so bad. I'm literally like planning to go to Korea in September, and I would really like to be not necessarily conversational because that's a lot, but I would like to be able to like ask for directions and stuff. But I digress. I did not do it. I watched K-dramas and I know how to address a king in the historical period, not modern Korea. Yeah, I just need to focus more on my goals for my language goals because your girl is slacking. And I really do like Duolingo overall, but I find its aggressive notifications very irritating. And even though I have turned off all notifications, it still somehow manages to email me. Despite I decline notifications literally every time it asks me, and it still keeps on coming. But I do need to work on my language goals. I actually have Korean textbooks. I just need to allot time for it because even blogging, I was blogging and releasing updates every Wednesday, but now that I've gotten back into writing fiction, I devote all my writing time to fiction and I don't keep up with the blog, which seems fine, except I said that I would do the blog. So I need to find a way, same with studying, I need to find a way to block out this time for the things that are important, because writing is not literally everything. So I gotta do some other stuff too. Anyways, so those were my January goals. And to be honest, I didn't really make any specific goals for February. And now that I'm halfway through, I'm kind of happy carrying over a lot of the goals that I had made for January. But just instead of using the word daily, I would like to use the word consistently, because that's really what I'm aiming to achieve. But I don't want to write daily, I want to write consistently. I don't want to read daily, I want to read consistently. And I think I'm happy with that going through the remainder of February. I may change it for March because I am hoping going into March I will have a significant enough portion of this novel done that I can start thinking about next steps, like who I'm sending it to, what kind of timeline I'm looking at, and making revision plans. Because if this goes as I think it should go, I need to be figuring out life plans and how I want to distribute this book, because I think it's going to be out there. I'm just not sure how. So hopefully in March I'll have a better idea on when I'm going to be done, what's going to happen after, and I can kind of use this first quarter as a gauge for the other 3. But we shall see. Thank you everybody for watching and listening to me ramble about January, even though it's middle of February. For just a little reminder, the Missy Elliott Readathon is still going on, and we are reading Black books during Black History Month with all the prompts coming from Missy Elliott's Iconology EP. It's a lot of fun. We have been doing our reading sprints and learning about new authors because we have found some new ones. We are currently reading Delicious Monsters by Liselle Sambury, and then Out There Screaming, which is edited by Jordan Peele. It's a horror anthology. I've only read 3.5 stories out of this one, but I'm super liking it so far. And then I'm about 50% through Delicious Monsters, and I'm enjoying it. There are tons of other Black books that you can read in February and beyond February, just saying. But I would encourage you all to join us. We post about on Instagram, we do our streams. The creator of this readathon is Cache from Shade with the Hobbies, and then myself and Deidra from shadetreereads are co-hosting, and we're very happy and liking it. Please join us, and I will see you somewhere on the internet. Have a great day. Bye.